it like songs that like he likes and he just made the playlist, or is it like his
So
songs?
the way he crafts it is he's like, this is what you as a Lions fan need to listen to in order to prepare you for specifically this game. Its location. It's like,
Oh my god.
oh, I can hear myself.
Through me?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let me check. Let me check. Oh, I got it. I know why.
That see, it's we do this thing. We do this, and now you're good, right? We're good now.
Yeah, now I'm good.
Yeah. I had the wrong mic again. You know, we did this last week too. I had the wrong mic hooked up, so I'm glad.
See, now it sounds good though. Now it sounds crisp.
Yeah. I probably sounded terrible earlier, but yeah, go ahead. What's
so every time, so my brother he'll create a Spotify playlist for me to listen to going into that game. So it's like, hey, you guys are playing Atlanta. Last year, the one he sent me for Green Bay, it was basically like break in case of an emergency. The entire playlist was, if you're going down, take them with you. And so like that's how he does it every week. So he created this playlist for Atlanta and was like, yo, this is what you gotta listen to. And I was like, I'm gonna pump this out to all my subs as well, so that they can get prepared for specifically Atlanta. I think he titled, I forget what he titled this one. I got to look it up.
Okay. That's amazing.
But yeah. So that's like prep for going into this game.
No, that's fantastic.
God, I didn't know we started, dude.
Yeah. I just got to go, man. I got to go right there. So I'm glad you said something, because I didn't realize I had the wrong mic on. You were just like not saying nothing. I'm like, all right, something's wrong. Chad, how we doing? I see you guys popping in here. We got Alex, we got Highlighter in the building. We're live on both channels once again this week. Let's Talk Lions is with me once again. And man, look, I really considered not doing this now, not because I didn't want to get back on the show with you, but because I was like, dang, I'm one of these dudes, like, all right, try not to do this unless it's the football season. I can't help it. Where I start to focus in on, okay, we lost last week. Do I really want to do this show the exact same?
I know.
I was like, hey, if we lose this week, we might have to take a break, switch up the idea. I don't know. Something's got to change, but we might have to get a new person in here, because this
honestly,
like
get me out of here.
Yeah, man, because last week was tough, and when I got off the show, I saw that you were live, and I clicked that link and I joined. I must have just missed you because it said ended, and I could see like some of the chat in there, and I was just like, dang, I just been. But you weren't live that long. But when you texted me back and you're like, I would have just been saying a thing. I was like, I completely understand, because I just did this post game show and it felt like that, right? So
you just run over the same thing, like it was. So I went live. It was like 25 minutes, and it's that. I looked at my wife after losing an OT, and I was like, man, I forgot what this tastes like, because we won against the Packers to finish the season on a high, even though we don't go to the playoffs, we kick off the season beating Kansas City. And I'm like, oh my God, let's go. So then that taste of an L, especially an L in which we gave the game away, it was 25 minutes of watching a grown man be sad. Nobody really wants to see that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big differences. Like when you win, even if you're saying the same things over and over, you can like say it different ways, because you can make yourself feel good about it. Like, yeah, but did you see that one play? But then you lose, you're like, I don't even care. We lost. Let's just move forward. So it does make it shorter.
Oh my God. And like when you're by yourself, you're just like, well, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah. Exactly. And then but the injuries are the worst, because it's like, what do you say about it? Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how serious it is. So I'm just sitting here like, man, it's sad. I don't know. It's just sad. I mean, I don't have anything else to give you guys, but it's sad. This is what we know so far. But I think in about 15 minutes, we should get the inactives here. Someone just asked about the injury report. So I'm actually going to double check, make sure they haven't put it out yet. Because someone said Bugs is playing, which I think Bugs will play today. I think this will be the first day we see him. I don't know. I have a feeling. It's just a weird feeling. But this is what we know so far. So if you haven't seen any of this, this is what we know. This morning they said Josh and Saint are expected to play, and then they said Montgomery's not going to play today. So they said expect a lot of Gibbs. He's going to get a majority of touches, but not all of them, because Thursday Night Football, they want to have him ready. So anything stand out to you here on the Lions side?
Yeah, 100%. What stands out to me is we're also already thinking about Green Bay. I mean, like, it's a short week, like you got to understand it's a short week. And like, I'm sitting here, I was really hoping we were going to throw Decker in, but the entire idea is, all right, we're playing Sunday, then Thursday. If we throw Decker out there and he tweaks that ankle, or we put that pressure on that ankle so much more, he's not going to be good to go for Green Bay. He might not be good to go for the next Sunday against, I think it's Carolina that we follow up with. So you can tell that the coaching staff, there's this like, hey, we got to keep the boys, some of the big dogs, as healthy as possible, getting ready for Green Bay. So Decker and Montgomery, those are those two guys where I'm like, we're trying to keep them as healthy as possible for Thursday. And it makes sense. I don't love it, but it is what it is. Okay.
That's an interesting way. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I think I didn't, I never really thought of it like that, like to get them ready. Cause next week, I mean, it is I don't want to act like this game is massive, because this could easily be wild card. But at the same time, the Packers game is the game. Like everybody's focused on, we got to win the division. Like I know I had my dad asked me yesterday, he said, man, but we can't lose this week. He always does this, which is funny. I love it, but he'll always be like, no, we can't lose this week. You know, like we have to win this week. But then it's like, well, even if we do lose, like, let's be honest, if we lose, you know, there's a really good chance the Packers are going to lose this week. And, you know, we'll probably still be tied for first. We'll go to Green Bay and we'll play for the division lead. I don't want to lose, but I'm just saying, we'll still be right there, right? We're playing for the division. But yeah, no, so this is still a big game. Okay, so those are the two big ones. I'm with you. Those are the two big ones. But how about that offensive line? So I know last week we spent a lot of time talking about the not having Decker. And by the way, I thought Nelson did his thing, you know, like, and that say was perfect, but Nelson held his own. So now this week we don't have Big V. And I know that's your boy, right? You got the jersey. So my thing is,
whoa. Can't be just throwing false comments out into the universe. I got a Decker jersey, everybody. Let's calm down.
Okay.
Calm down.
That's a nice jersey. I'm sorry. But no, so he's out this week, which means that whole right side of the offensive line, man, Graham Glasgow's in there. Now, I know we're both confident Graham Glasgow. I didn't think he looked great last week, but it should look better, right? I mean, it should look better with more time. That's the expectation. That's what we're thinking. And then we're still confident with Matt Nelson again at right tackle this week. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah.
By the way, what are you drinking there? You drinking that coffee with the half and half again?
Yeah, 100% I am. It's still early, man. It's before noon, and so the beers will start rolling down like Denethor drinking come 12 p.m. So if anybody doesn't know who Denethor is, I'm just disappointed in you. That's all.
Well, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Side note, chat, real quick. So, how many wizards? Okay, here we go. We're gonna do this. How many wizards does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh man, I would say it should be. I don't like this question. I don't have an answer for you.
Okay. Well, the answer is 2. It takes 1 to hold it and the other 1 to rotate the room.
Wow, that's good. Yeah. I like it. Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna come with like a good joke today. That's something that like I think we'll like everybody will miss in the chat, but at the same time, it kind of goes in your lane a little bit. So, but let me get with something good.
Bro, play a little D&D. I'm actually currently a human wizard. If anybody is wondering, I'm playing a human wizard whose name is Charlemagne of Citron. He's about 70 years old. He is terrible at being a wizard. He's actually a gardener, stumbled into his job. And I know you all care. So that's why I'm telling you. Okay, my bad, Dose. I got excited.
No, I mean, it's a great name. That's a fantastic name. I truly don't know what you're talking about, but I like the name.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Dungeons. Okay. So you hit me with the little abbreviation there and you lost me, but it's all good. I got it. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Look, we got to talk CJ Gardner-Johnson. I don't want to spend much time here because, again, it's sad energy, but we're going to just touch on it because the important thing to me, and my man right here, I can always say your name wrong. Tehran. Wait, it's Tehran, right? Tehran? I don't remember. What's up, man? How you doing? Let me know how to say your name in the chat. He says, is Brandon Joseph playing along with Tracy? So here's what we know. Okay, I said here's what we know. Here's what we also know. Lions brought up Brandon Joseph today and also Dan Skipper. I mean, look, Dan Skipper has like, I think, a heart in a lot of this fan base. Like everybody has like a piece that just kind of loves Dan Skipper. And Lions brought him back this week. And we know he can play both tackle and guard. So he'll probably be up today. I mean, he's elevated today. He'll be up today as well as Joseph. I don't think Joseph is going to start. I think it's going to be iffy. I think it's going to be Tracy. We saw them play a little bit last week. So I think those two will go, which I'm excited personally to just see Tracy because
Oh,
like every time I look at that contract, I'm like, the guy should be on the field. They paid him like he's one of their biggest extensions they've given out since Brad Holmes has got here, you know. And
dude, yeah.
One thing we've looked at is every extension, you know, coming into this year that we had given out, none of them had really played with that extension. Like Romeo was the first time, Charles, Tracy, like they're all for the first time playing. Like Tracy should be on the field. It's just that we have what Branch did so quickly that he's not on the field. So we're going to see that. I expect to see if he would, you know, because again, that's a high draft pick that we just never talk about because he's never on the field and he can't really find his way on the field. But without having CJ Gardner-Johnson, okay, what's your confidence level in those two guys? And what does that mean? Like, what does that mean to not have CJ for possibly the entire season?
What does that mean? That is detrimental to what this secondary is. Like, and I don't use that word lightly. Like, I really do think it is detrimental. The energy that he brings alone was enough to like cook up a storm. Even in the first game, it was our home game against Seattle on the first drive when Seattle made it all the way down to the end of the field. And we had that huge play where he comes in and he unfortunately causes the flag, right? With that little extra push, which I'm like,
yep,
come on. You know, I'm like, I don't know about that, but because it was gentle, but he did it. So you get what you deserve. But like the juice that he brings, man, seeing him go, it blows. And really it's just like, the guy was so versatile. He could really accomplish a lot. So like knowing that he's out, it blows. But in the same way, I'm like, okay, next man up. Tracy Walker's the guy we paid. I think we paid him last year, and then he got hurt game 3 or 4. So prove to us that you're worth the money. Prove to us. Do the job, especially now that the guy's down. It's kind of like, you know, yeah. I just think all in all, CJ going down hurts, but it's not the end of the world because we saw something in Tracy Walker that we believed in and said, here's the money. So prove it, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like, and I always see Tracy Walker posting things on social media. So I'm just fired up for him to play. Like that guy wants to be out there. He? And he's always posting stuff on social media, like got to stay ready, that kind of thing. And my thing that I do appreciate with that is he got the big deal. So obviously he's already paid. But at the same time, I do feel like when you get paid like that, and plus you're looking for a new deal on top of it, and he's in that situation where it's like, hey, you're going to take a backseat to this guy at least for one season, essentially.
Right.
Man, and we've heard things from players that don't get the chance, you know, where there's like stuff that gets talked about. I haven't heard nothing from Tracy, man. You don't hear nothing from him. Now he's got his chance. But I'm with you. He's tough, man. CJ, I feel so bad there because I look at him in like the flip side. It's like, man, he hasn't gotten paid, and he's looking for that extension somewhere. And now I don't know where he gets it because he's in the past. Now it's something different. I don't know where. Maybe it makes it cheaper for us. I mean, if we look at that for it, if we went back, it might be a lot cheaper to do so. But
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. You know, I think I don't know. I like him. I think he played well in the first 2 games, but obviously you have to put the injuries in there. Don't have to look at that too. But so Chad asked if he's going to play. My man Ranting Q's in the building. How you doing, man? No, I think he's going to play today. I think he'll start today. I mean, if they started Joseph, I'd be a little surprised. I think there's a reason he made the team. He's going to start today, and we did see him last week. Are we going to see more of Bugs or Martin today? Ooh, I'm gonna put this on you because I don't really know. We see either in the active today. That'll be the first, and then I guess that's the main question.
And which I haven't seen that come out yet. Have you?
No, I have not. I think Bugs is active. I bet he's active today, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, if anybody, I really feel like Bugs would be. I trust Bugs. You know what? I know that obviously coaching staff, they were saying there was stuff in the film that they didn't love, but man, seeing him come out last year, what he was able to do, specifically the game in New York, man, like Bugs is, or in Jersey really, but Bugs is a beast and I want him out there. And I don't know what's going on that has kept him at bay, but yeah, I think if anything, I would expect Bugs over Martin. But hey, man, I don't know. That's a great question because I think so much of this game is going to rely on the D line. Like it's going to come down to shutting down the run between Bijan and Algier, right? That's how you say his name?
Yep.
Yeah. Those two guys, dude, mad respect for Bijan, mad respect for him. And that guy makes some stone cold cuts out on the field. And I'm worried. Bro, I am worried about the run game.
Yeah, you should, and here's the thing. What's about that is like usually in the past, I feel like you would always be worried about the run game just because it's like, oh, we're not going to stop the run. It don't matter who we're playing, we're going to stop the run. But we've been much better there. Like even last week, very good against run. But then you watch this team, man, and like they're just really good at it, and that's who they are. It's like it's kind of like I feel like when you play us, you kind of know what we were going to be about. And now when you play them, you know exactly what it's going to be. They're going to run the football. And Bijan's looked great. I think we have to see Bugs today. Here's my thought. Yeah. We're going to have to put a lot of guys on the line today. We're going to do it, I think, how the last couple teams have. So you're going to see a lot of Kaminsky. And without having Pascal, I think you got to have another body in there. Now, not to start, but someone's got to be able to rotate. Like last week, they had to put Kaminsky inside. I don't think they're going to have that flexibility throughout the game because they're going to have too many guys on the line. So I think you're going to have at least one of those guys be active today. And I would think Bugs, I mean, everything they do is so far outside. They get wide on you. They're so athletic. Like if I asked you, okay, if we were playing a team and they have a super athletic and they have one of the best run blocking offensive line, super athletic offensive line, they go wide all the time. Which guy would you trust more to handle that? Personally, it would be Bugs for me because of his body type. A wide, bit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But and I think Mark could have a role, but it's more specific.
Yes. Yep. Now, like I don't know, and maybe you can tell me. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me too. Atlanta and their run game, are they more up the gut or pitching out wide? Is my question. Like what the percentage is between the two? Because if it's up the gut, Broderick Martin would be the guy. Because that dude, he is the Hoover Dam. Like he is humongous, and he stops anything from getting through.
This is true. No, this is true. From what I've seen, and I don't have the numbers, unfortunately, a lot more of it was wide toss play. Now they do they get their little inside mixed in there, but especially to Bijan. I mean, he won't even play a running back, and he's getting wide. So much of their rushing, like to me, a lot of it's going to come back to those safeties, which is why I think it's like, hey, great, we don't have our two starting safeties. Kirby's out too. A lot of it's going to be about the safeties in this game. It's like that's usually how it works, so we want to talk about this depth. Well, the depth better show up today, but that's why I think Bugs is going to be active. But hey, maybe both of them. Shout out to Batman in the building. Batman. I like that actually. That's pretty fire. Okay, morning, fellas. I just want a competitive game with no injuries, please. That would be amazing. Also, I need the Patriots to please, for the love of God, not lose the. Oh wait, hold up. You don't want them to lose? I'm with you. Hey, I took the pass for the third straight week. Let's talk Lions. Look, man, if there's one team that's been letting me down, it's New England. And I told myself, I was like, hey, look, if they lose in week 2, I'm getting off. And then they lost, and I came back. I'm like, I'm taking the Patriots again. So, I don't know why, but I keep taking them.
Are you a betting man?
This is not betting. Oh, it's just, we got to do our weekly picks. You know what I mean? But if you do want to bet, link in the description. But we. Our weekly picks, third straight. Hey, it's in there. Actually, it might not be in there. It's in there for the live stream. But okay, I wanted to see what chat is popping, so I wanted to make sure I don't miss anything. If you see anything in here too, let me know. Point out whatever you want to touch on here. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. I saw this with Craig. So one person said you ready to see Craig Reynolds. I want to get your thoughts on Craig because we've seen him now for a couple seasons. I'm a big fan of the guy.
Inactivities, just so you know.
Okay. Actually, yep. Transition. That's good. I'm gonna upload that. Okay, I'll let you answer the Craig Reynolds. Get your thoughts on Craig Reynolds because my man also, and I'll pull that up. And then he also asked about Zonovan Knight being active. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Zonovan Knight. I think he's active. He'll probably play a little bit, but I don't think he'll play much. I think it'll be Craig as a 2, Gibbs as a 1. But what's your confidence meter looking like? Like this? What's it looking like? Give me a little scale there with Craig Reynolds.
With Craig Reynolds, last week, I feel like he was just thrown to the wolves, obviously, with Monty going down. And so we didn't see anything starting. It's really, if Craig Reynolds can get moving, if he starts early and he can get moving, Craig Reynolds does find a lot of success. It's getting that established early. I have a lot of confidence in Reynolds, not as much as I do in Monty, because you saw the immediate impact that took place the moment Montgomery was out. Moment he was gone, our run game just fell off a cliff like an anvil in Wile E. Coyote. So I think with Craig, I love the guy. It's just, it has to be established quick. If he doesn't get it going, I don't see him popping off. We know the majority is going to be going to Gibbs today, which I'm all about. I want to see this kid cruise. But Craig I don't think he has the powerhouse tendency that we see in Montgomery. Montgomery just sheds people like a freaking rain jacket. Like he is he is otter skin and water's falling off of him. And he's like, watch me work. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It is.
My bad.
It is magical though. And it's like, it's almost weird, man, because it's the amount of broken tackles. It's insane. Like you watch other teams and you'll have like one big run. It's like, oh, they're going to break that. And they'll show it over and over. This guy does like 8 in a game. It's like, every run he's breaking a tackle.
Oh, he's unbelievable. So my confidence level in Craig Reynolds, unfortunately, I'm going on the lesser side. I'm not super confident. I hope I'm wrong. I think he is.
You're just not going to get that. It's a step down.
It's a huge step down, and I love him. But I'm sorry, I can't lie to anybody watching. My confidence is less than assured.
Okay. Well, hey, let's take a look at these inactives here because as we see, Josh Reynolds is in. That's what we got here. Amon-Ra St. Brown is in. A lot of these we knew of. Okay, Dave Montgomery's officially out. The big one there is Broderick Martin is not going to play. So we just talked about that. But Isaiah Buggs is active today, as well as Chat's saying, Stephen Gilmore, the cornerback. Now, again, I don't anticipate him playing today. But what was the move that we had at cornerback? For some reason, we added a cornerback to the practice squad. Do we have an injury that I'm completely like forgetting right now?
Kirby Joseph. I don't know. Well, I mean safety, but
Kirby. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I mean I'm trying to think. Top of my head, like we didn't have a cornerback injury last week. I don't think anything's changed to there.
I just want to address Game Boy 360 asked when is Mosley gonna play? Game Boy 360. Have you ever seen Angels in the outfield? The old one with JGL and Tony Danza, Danny Glover. Maybe when the Angels win the pennant. That's my answer. The same way that father got off on a motorcycle, smoking a cigarette, looked at his 8-year-old son and said, the 8-year-old son says, when are we going to be a family again, Dad? He says, when the Angels win the pennant. That's when Mosley's going to play.
I don't know where to go from there, man. I love it. No, this is fantastic.
I'm upset about it. I want Mosley out there. He's just always so.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Okay, yeah, no. So, CJ Gardner-Johnson's injured. Well, yeah, but he's a safety. Okay, well, yeah. So here's the question then. Here's the big question. I mean, we all can think about it real quick. Is Stephen Gilmore going to play over Jerry Jacobs today? I mean, that's the real question. Jerry Jacobs had his worst week last season. I would say no. Unless the first half is absolutely terrible, and then they're like, okay, hold up. Drake London is cooking him, or Kyle Pitts is, and they don't throw the ball very much. So either way, we're going to have trouble because I think those two guys are just legit. But if they're like going crazy, just attacking Jerry, then yeah, they may switch that half. But I don't see them coming in with that mindset. And I actually think in a weird way, this could work better for Jerry because these guys are a little bit bigger, more physical. You know kind of what they are. I think Jerry matches up good with big physical receivers. I think he matches, even though he's not a big guy, neither is Stephen Gilmore. I think he plays better with size than he would with some of the smaller, quicker receivers. That's my hope for this game.
Well, here's my thing. Like Jerry Jacobs had a terrible week last week. That is not negotiable. That is what it was. It was awful. But he has otherwise been consistently overachieving, like in a way where I'm like, man, this guy puts out and is doing more than I expected. Every time I'm like, man, Jerry Jacobs is better than expected. He's a UDFA. Last week was awful. It was awful. And I don't think that is I don't think that's his consistent gameplay at all. So I'm not super worried about him. It was just a bad week, which leads me to this question for you, Dose, because listen, man, I saw some other Lions YouTubers saying some stuff, and I want to know where you stand.
Please.
Aaron Glenn. Question mark. Is he on the hot seat? Does he deserve to be on the hot seat? Does he need to go? Was last week just pitiful and a fluke? Where do you stand on AG at the moment? And I'm sorry, like if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. It's your shot.
No, it's a good question. It's a good. I want to answer it, and I'm actually going to throw right back to you in a second here. You put me on the spot, so I'm going to put you right on the spot because here's my thing. Is he on the hot seat? I think naturally, like I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat. Like I'm not looking at like, oh, this week's bad, he's gone. Like if your defense is statistically not there 3 or straight years, naturally someone's going to have to be there. And I don't think it's going to be Brad Holmes. Now, I will say this, though. I do think that defensively, I think they're going to take a lot of strides this year. We're going to see that as the year plays out. But I do feel like there's still legit spots where it's like, okay, well, the guy, like if you looked at it, like Jerry Jacobs having a bad week last week, to me, the biggest issue there is like, and I wonder about this through the year because I think he's playing different than he played last year. Like you think back to when Jerry was signed, right? He was a stocky physical corner that would get up, press your receiver off the line. If you look at last week, he wasn't playing any of that role. He played a completely different role against Seattle. And I think we're going to see it this year. Now, I think his role fits for Mosley, who eventually I think will be here. And the expectation is that he was going to start when healthy. I think it's going to fit for Cam Sutton because of his body type. But Jerry Jacobs is one of those weird body types that doesn't really fit, but they're asking him to do something a little bit different now. So I think the big thing is figuring out, can he start to thrive in that role more consistently? He's not on a hot seat. To me, he's not on a hot. Now, the biggest issue I had with last week specifically is I thought maybe we could have, like you could have really made an argument to say that we should change up what we're doing when you got to about the second half. We changed some things, but I think the aggressiveness, like for example, last week we talked about Jerry, they flipped corners. They put Jerry Jacobs on the opposite side in the second half and try to get him away from DK Metcalf. Now, the issue that I didn't like is on the big third down in overtime, Jerry Jacobs is on Metcalf because they just put Metcalf over, just moved him over. So it's like, why not switch that? Like there has to be some awareness, like, hold up. We did this for a reason. Let's call timeout. Cam Sutton, follow DK Metcalf. Like for this play, just follow him, okay? Because this is the big down. We have to get off the field here. So there's that. But he wouldn't be on the hot. I didn't dislike the game plan, but I think there are times where I say, okay, maybe this could be more of an adjustment than there is. Like there's little tweaks, like, oh, move Hutchinson over. But maybe there just needs to be, and I'll say one more thing because I know I'm talking about here. But the last thing is, I feel like that's difficult. Like if I come in with a game plan, right? If I and you're a player, Let's Talk Lions is one of my players, and I'm like, hey man, we're coming in this week. You're gonna blitz the heck out of them, all right? And I'm like, hey, the game plan makes sense on paper, but then all of a sudden we get to like this, the middle of the third quarter. I'm like, man, it's just not hitting. We're there, we're close. It just hasn't come through yet. Do I really change everything at this point, or do I say, look, this is the game plan? It to come through one time because, like, let's be honest, they had 7 points at half. That's not bad. They had 7 points at halftime. It just we couldn't come through enough, and then it's like, oh, got a big down. Jerry Jacobs got beat, so it's like, he's on the hot seat for me. Not yet.
Honestly,
go ahead.
Heck, man, I like we lost that game because of 2 turnovers. That's why we lost. I mean, their kicker missed 2 field goals. That's still only 6 points. We win the game if we didn't turn it over and pick 6 and then turn it over on the 20. So it's like, we lost that game because of a fumble and a pick 6. Defense was shabby as all get out. Defense was tough. The injuries were brutal. But in the end, the boys fought back and we would have won that game. We blew it. We blew it on turnovers. And so it's like, I look at that game and it's a frustrating loss. I'd rather just get beat, like just beat me flat out. If they beat us flat out, I'd been like, all right, well, you were the better team. We beat ourselves. So when it comes to AG, and I see it in the chat and everybody, pretty much coming in here, I agree. I saw way too many Lions YouTubers being like, get AG out of here. Saw them being like, he's on the hot seat. I'm like, no, he's not. He's not.
Right.
I think that's absurd. If we play like that defensively 6 weeks in a row, okay, now we can have the conversation. But I think as a whole, especially looking at what the defense was able to do, and again, it's last year, but those last 10 games down the stretch, and then you come into this year, it's a new season. We have new pieces. Cam Sutton locking down. Like, I trust Glenn. I trust this defense. So anybody calling for his job, I think that's impatience and foolishness. But just me.
Yeah, no, I think you make great points there because, I'm with you on the whole situation. Like, I don't know. The turnovers were so massive. And I think there's points that you could look to like in overtime and you can say, well, man, if the and then you have to find that balance. Like, okay, the player didn't make the play. Yes, maybe he did his job wrong. Like on a little play action, they threw right over Charles. Like, hey, Charles, you got to back up, dude. And he's just like standing there too long. So it's like, you throw that balance on, man, he's not pushing that message enough that he needs to get back, or is it like, hey man, the player didn't make the play? Because I do feel like it's still a work in progress defensively, personnel wise. Well, at the same time, there has to be growth though. It's year 3. You understand that, but someone's got to go because there has to be growth. But I think there's going to be growth because of what you just said. The second half last year, no one seems to want to separate the stats. Second half last year, Lions were outstanding against the pass for the most part. I mean, they were very good last year, second half of the season. And I think this was a tough offense we played last week, man, and they just did enough just every time. So give it like till half the season. Let's see where we're at, because I think we're going to take massive jumps this year.
And this is where Jonathan Foster, I absolutely agree. You have to question the schemes at certain points. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we saw it. We saw some stuff that went down. Even James Houston on that one play tracking down. I don't know who that was. You got to ask questions. That's totally cool. But James Howarth, I think you're wrong. Last year's not irrelevant when you look at what AG was able to do with pieces. Yeah, the record's irrelevant. 8-2 is irrelevant at this point, but it's not irrelevant to look at the man's track record and see what that defense did for the second half when they're giving up almost 30 points for the first 7 games and then only 20 points ish for the last 10 games. Like, no, that's not irrelevant. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think that's very relevant, and again, you can even point to just some of the players that came back. So I'm with you. Like, give it some time. Seattle's a good offense. I think it's going to play out there a good offense. The game plan to me was we had to get ahead in that game. We had to get them in a spot where they had to get out of their offense. We never got them out of that spot, and that's why I point to the turnovers, because usually I look at it and say we gave up too many points, and we did. But it's like, man, if we don't turn the ball over, let's say we go up 17-7 to start the second half. Do we start to pull them out of comfortable, make them pass a little bit more, make them sit back in the pocket? All of a sudden, those tackles, because look, I get the D-line thing. I know we're kind of going off on a spiel here, but the defensive line, we don't have any sacks, right? But let's also keep in mind, Aiden Hutchinson leads the league in pressures, right? So it's not like we're not getting heat. It's we can't get there when the ball's out that fast. Yep. So it's like we had to get them in that spot. I just never felt like we could get them in that spot.
No.
But let's see. This week's going to be a challenge, though, because like you said, Atlanta Falcons. I want to transition real quick here. Because
transition. Take us there, baby.
Too. Let's do it. Okay, how about this? Jeff A. I said Jeff A. Gosh dang, I messed that up. Hefe. Jeff Okuda's going to play. All right? He's going to play. I'm assuming he's going to start. Oh, no.
Thank God. Because we know what that man is capable of. So let's just pray that man does exactly what he did here for 2.5 years. The same thing, and we'll eat them up. We'll gobble them up. It'll be a turkey dinner, Thanksgiving Day. That's what I want. Yeah. Hey, Jeff.
Okay, well, that's why I brought it up, because he's playing, and I'm assuming he's going to start because the other corner looked rough last week, and he's looked rough. Cordell Patterson is out. I do need to say that, and we haven't seen him this year, but just knowing Cordell Patterson, like we saw him with the Bears, right? I mean, that goes way back. That's way back, man. I forgot he was with the Bears. I said that. Like, wait a minute, did we really? Man, but he's figured it out in the NFL. They found a spot for that guy. We already got a lot to deal with this week. Wait, hold up. I got to address it. Never. We're excited about pleasures. No, the reason I say that, let me make it clear, because I know I said that and it's not fun because sacks are what we need. To me, if you look at there's a lot of instances where we're winning on the defensive line, right? We're winning, but they have to come together to get a sack. I think a sack, to use like what Let's Talk Lions would say, it's like a marriage, They have to come together. It can't be one side. Ooh. And I think it's one-sided if you're beating the offensive lineman, but the quarterback is getting it. If Ryan Branch pressures the quarterback 7 times and he's a free rusher, let's say that for hypothetically, that's probably pretty close, and he never gets a sack. Is that on Brian Branch not getting touched, or is that whoever's behind him not forcing him to hold on that ball for a second? Because what I'm saying is there's not a faster path to the quarterback than that. Not getting touched, that's the fastest path you could take, essentially. So, you have to get a sack there. So it's got to come together, and I think that's the big part of it. Like, I think our front can win. I'm not saying we have the best front. All right, Charles got to do his thing, but we can win on the front, but it's got to come together. Those things, they're not separate. They're not together. You can't just get pressure. Pressures are hurries, hits, or a sack. That's what a pressure is. So it's any of those categories counts as a pressure. That means we had a lot of hurries in that last game, and they'll come into sacks soon. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Let's do this.
You're good.
Because we're getting going here a little bit. We're going to start to transition into kind of our players to watch, and then also a score prediction. Now, Chad, I need your opinions in here. So I need you to start throwing in players to watch. My man Ken talking food right now. All right, I don't even know what's going on. Falcon cheese. Oh, he's talking the Falcon. Falcon cheese and chili dogs with onions may be gross. Okay, that does sound kind of.
I don't understand what that means, but
yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ken. All right, I'm not going to that barbecue. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, bro, hey, you do your thing, Ken. You know what I mean? No, so okay, but let's actually touch on it real quick though one more time, because I do think it comes into players to watch from the Falcons side. You're happy Jeff Okuda's playing. Now, I would say I just think that opposite corner is going to be. We know they got AJ Terrell, right? I think everybody just hears AJ Terrell. I can hit you with the stat real quick just to put it in perspective.
Please.
AJ Terrell this season has allowed a 6 passer rating, 5 completions on 15 targets, and I believe about 40 yards. So you got that guy. So I don't see a lot going on that guy. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be tough. But the opposite side may be Hefe against who? Josh Reynolds? I don't know. I think Terrell will see him a lot. But Marvin Jones Jr. So here's one of my questions for the game. I'm going to put you on a spot because I don't even know the answer to this. I called it, who's the 2? Who's the number 2? Who's the guy opposite of Josh and St. Brown that cooks in this game?
Ooh, today I'm going Khalif this game.
Ooh, okay.
I think we're going to look for, short yardage, slants, just basically working Khalif and his speed. And because, St. Brown and the foot, the toe injury kind of scares me. Like he's not going to be 100%. And
yeah,
I just look at it and I'm like, also same thing with Josh Reynolds. Obviously he had the groin. There's some sort of groin injury. Now both guys are playing. There are big dogs, but I think we're going to be looking for Khalif and maybe Laporta quite a bit.
No, I love that. I love that you said, I didn't even list him on there, but I love that you said Khalif there. And actually, just to add a little bit to what you're saying, because I read about this week, there's actually real proof or evidence, I should say, to back up what you're saying. Khalif Raymond's been one of the best receivers in the league against his own. This team mixes both. All right. So he's been very effective against what we're going to see, I think, a lot today. Actually, all his receptions, I believe, has come against zone coverage. So it's something to keep in mind. Now, here's the big one. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. I mean, that's the battle. I'm going to say this because I felt like this early in the week. And then after this morning, NFL Network said that, he's going to get a majority of the carries today. I thought Jahmyr Gibbs was going to break out today. Now, here's why I say that. I think he's already shown his flashes as a runner and as a pass catcher, right? And I think pass catching is going to be what he's kind of known for years. But as a running back, I think we get 2 to 3 big chunk plays today. And that'll shoot up his average. He probably goes over 80 yards rushing. I think he just has 2 or 3 big chunk runs because we talk about how they run the ball really well. I don't think they stop the run extremely well. Not throughout the entirety of a game. I think there's inconsistency there. So to me, I think Gibbs is in for a monster game. I mean, okay, let me do this. Who has more rushing yards today? Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson?
I am going to go Bijan. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, Does. I do think it will be Bijan because, man, we are struggling to stop the run in certain times. And if Bijan gets cooking, if that guy starts motoring, man, I think it's going to be a long day up front. So I'm going to go Bijan. That's not to say that Gibbs doesn't put up some big numbers as well. I just think it's going to be a heavy running day for Atlanta. That's who they are. Yeah. That's who they are. And they're going to be chucking it down our throat.
That's it. I'm with you. That's exactly who they are. And we're going to see it a lot. I'm assuming I am going though today. And part of this is because Algier is going to get in the mix. But at the same time, I do got to say Bijan's averaging 6.2 a pop right now. Okay, so he's doing his thing. He's leading the team in rushing yards. But I do think that Jahmyr Gibbs does. I think Gibbs has a big game. I told you why. Yeah. And then also the receiving aspect probably is going to be a big part of it because it just has been to this point. I want to kind of just go through these to get your thoughts on see what I put in here. I don't remember what I put in here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Walker Melifonwu, we kind of touched on that. I think they're going to be big, stopping the run. Okay, everything's going to come back to stopping the run. Someone's got to tackle the running back.
Come back. And honestly, Ritter
goes back to it.
I think they're going to have some designed runs for Ritter, and it's going to be. I hate and we struggle with mobile QBs. We do. We just struggle with mobile QBs. We were able to contain Mahomes pretty well, especially in the second half. We were able to contain him, not shut him down, but contain. Geno, man, we just couldn't get the pressure or finish the pressure that we were putting on him. Obviously, everybody in the chat was going nuts about the word pressure. My bad. But I think this is a huge struggle of ours. And if Atlanta, I do believe we're going to see some pretty big design runs. And Ritter's going to put up a couple yards on us.
Yeah. No, that's a heck of a point. I think so too. We saw a little bit of that against Green Bay. What all about all-purpose yards? They're trying to change your opinion a little bit. Okay, so they're adding an element to it. Hold up. What about those receiving yards though? Maybe he does a kick return. What do we think? Does that change your outcome, or are you still leaning Bijan?
Man, all-purpose yards. I'm going to say this. Hey, Denver Blair, we're going to go Gibbs for all-purpose today because we know that Gibbs has taken the majority of the snaps. That's what we can expect coming into today. And this is what's funny about like Bijan and Gibbs, right? They were the two best running backs. That's the big story coming into today. Hey, you got Bijan, you got Gibbs, these two guys out on the field. Who's better? Well, I mean, you look at it better. How are you going to classify that? If it's straight from the backfield, I'm going to go Bijan on the ground. That guy is unbelievable up front. However, in the same way, Gibbs hasn't gotten going yet. I don't think we've gotten to see, like, we've unwrapped the present, but we haven't played with the present yet. You know what I'm saying? It's Christmas Day. You've unwrapped it. You're looking at it. You know, you haven't put the battery.
And it needs some batteries
in it yet. You got to put some batteries in it. And I think today we throw some batteries in our present and let's watch them pop.
How much of a letdown is that? Batteries are not included. And they're like, we got batteries? No, we ain't got battery. We don't got those kind. It's like, dang, man, because you know gas station ain't open. You know it's not open today, man. So now I got to wait. Dude.
That's good. I like that.
That's fantastic. No, I like that. We got him to change his mind. We didn't change his mind, but we got him to say Gibbs. So I'll take that as a win today. But I will say this, because you were making me think as you were saying that. Some I haven't really thought about. On third down, this team loves to blitz their linebackers. They put them on the line. Here's the thing I'm wondering about. Will we see more Craig on third down? Because I'm thinking about this pass protection. If Gibbs is in there, he's going to have to go out on a route most of the time because we're not going to consistently trust him in there. So I do wonder about that a little bit because last week it didn't look so good. And clearly that's not the role for him right now. So I do wonder about that a little bit.
That's
he's going to be running a lot of routes, I would assume. Yeah. Well, and think about this. We've seen a lot of Montgomery in that spot now so far this year. Like, it's like, why is Montgomery out there? Well, he's sitting in there to block. When Gibbs is out there, he's sitting out there to run a route. So if it is going to be a lot of Gibbs, expect a lot of him running routes and just a lot of 5-man protection. And they better hold up and get that ball out quick. Hopefully they made third and long. Yeah, it's a little interesting wrinkle. I like that. That's good. I'm glad you were talking like that because you made me start thinking about how many. Okay, they're putting you on a spot. How many rushing yards Ritter going to get, though?
I think according to what I saw on DraftKings, it was like over or under 16.5. I'm going to give Ritter 25 plus today.
Wow. So you think he's going to start cooking today?
I think there's just going to be multiple design runs where he's going to pick up 7, he'll pick up 5, he'll pick up 8. And then there's going to be those random ones where he drops back and then our boys are scrambling wide open. Anzalone has to come in and make the play after he picks up 6 or 3 or whatever. So I just see Ritter going 25 plus.
There you go, Chad. That was a sneaky little, hey, take the over. He's not advising you to bet, but he's just saying. That's what he's saying.
I'm not saying you should bet, but if you do, use my my code. I'm just kidding. I don't have a code, but you should use Dose of Dion.
We do have a code. So you should. Code. Bet US. You should use it. Now, here's the thing, though. So I'm with you on that. That's a good point, though, because Desmond Ritter does scramble a lot. And if the Lions consistently take that first look away, he's taking off. That dude taking it. He can move. Like, he moves pretty. He doesn't move like Goff. Like, Goff's kind of like in his own tier. So there's like elite athlete. You look that up on Google, Jared Goff pops up. Then you start to get to Lamar Jackson, Tim Tebow, but that Desmond Ritter falls into that category somewhere. That's a good point that you made that. How about this though? So we talk safeties. I want to ask you the players that you think have a big game today. All right, I know I'll put you on the spot, but I did it from both sides, so I'll go first. But I did it from both sides just to kind of get 2 ways to look at this. Like last week, we had like 6 players, and it's like, all right, that's kind of cheating. I look back at him, I can't put 6 players on the list. I literally put every offensive. Hey, no, that's not fair. So I'm doing 2 on offense and a few guys on the opposite side that, 1 on offense, 1 on defense. My guy on offense, Jahmyr Gibbs, of course. I think he's massive today. I like Laporte. I like you guys are saying that, though. I do got to say, because he's been so big to this point. And I think St. Brown's getting a lot of attention. I don't think their slot corner is that good. So if they leave him one-on-one, he's gonna eat. But I don't think they will. I think they're gonna put that linebacker over there. So I think all of a sudden Sam Laporta one-on-one, like all those guys underneath should cook today. It should work like that. But I'm gonna go Gibbs on offense. I'm going Derek Barnes on defense, man. We got the jersey back there. Ooh. Man, we talk run defense. It's got to be Derek Barnes for me today. I think we're gonna see him a lot. And I just need to be that, like, the guy you think of Barnes. Offensive line. I need that guy today. They'll do the quick things to the outside. He's one of the guys he might have the best straight line speed on this. He probably does out of any linebacker we have. We got a lot of good ones, but that man can run. I want to see Barnes today. I think he's in for a big. He should be in for a big game. We need a big game for him. Who do you got who do you got for the Lions? What kind of guys stick out to you?
So today, offensively, I'm going Sam Laporta. Obviously, I brought up Khalif Raymond being big as a wide receiver, like kind of an underdog guy that we're going to be tossing to. But I do think that Laporta, we're going to watch him be used, right? St. Brown's going to draw a lot of attention. Josh Reynolds, I think he's put up, 2 TDs in the first 2 games, right? 2 TDs last week against Seattle, and then maybe 1 against KC.
There you go.
And he's put up some chunks of yardage, 66 yards, I believe, last week, 100 some odd the first week, if I'm not mistaken. I might have read that incorrectly. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was 166. But anyways,
I think you're wrong on that, but that's fine.
Man.
Wait, you said 166 in one game?
No,
he definitely did not have 160.
No, 100
okay.
and then 66.
Oh, okay. That might be more in the ballpark. I feel like that's wrong, but I think it's closer in the ballpark.
Oh, I was close.
Look, 80. I didn't want to call you out, but 80. Boom. There you go.
80 and 66.
Yeah.
Hey, let's all just take a moment and be proud of me for getting 66. Woof.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you did. You nailed 50% of that one. And you know, the next one, I thought you were like adding them together.
No. I was going for the combo. So I'm gonna go Laporta. I think we're gonna need to see him step up on some big blocks as well. But I'm going Laporta offense and defensively. Dose. It's very easy. This is the easiest answer all day. I'm so glad you asked me this question. Defensively, the biggest player for the Lions today is gonna be Jeff Okudah. Sorry, okay, I had to go there. That's my hope.
I'm not even mad at it, man. You know, look, I was gonna ask. Nah, you know what? Leave it. Just leave it because we were just gonna leave it. Falcons. Leave it. That's fine.
And listen, man, if after this game, if he has the best day of his life and he shuts us down, I'm gonna hear it. I'll hear it from you, and I expect you to bring it. I just want people to write Jeff Okudah in the comments, and I'll sit here, I'll purse my lips, and I'll drink a beer. And I'll be sad.
You know what? I think we might be making something that's not so good. Watch him go out this week. He's gonna have his best game for sure.
I know.
He's gonna lock up Josh Reynolds or whoever they put on him. They might throw him on St. Brown. He's coming up with 2 picks. That man's going crazy.
I'll go nuts.
He goes crazy today. Oh no, yeah. That's gonna be interesting. Because here's what I was gonna do. Like my next part.
There we go. Say a Vito, say a Villata, something like that.
Shout out to my man. I appreciate you with the 20-piece, man. Hey, shout out to the people that have donated, man. We appreciate that. They go straight to chicken nuggets, so we appreciate it. No, I appreciate you guys though. So this is to what I was gonna. This is what you said. This is why this was perfect. You said Jeff Okudah. My next point was guys that can't have a big game for us to win. Basically, like these are the guys that can't have a big game for the Falcons. And you said Jeff Okudah, so it was perfect. We could just leave that right in there. I love that. It's fantastic. So here are mine. I didn't put Jeff Okudah. I should have. I put Drake London. Man, I love me some Drake London. You know, and look, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, we couldn't take him. We traded up. We got J-Mo, but he went number 8. But I loved him that year. And then also on the defensive side, that safety. Like we all know Jesse Bates. We all know Jesse Bates from Cincinnati. That dude is an animal. And here's my thing. Here's one of my like bold predictions. It's not. I guess it's a bold prediction. I think Ritter. I almost want to guarantee Ritter throws an interception today. I could easily see us throwing an interception today as well, especially for forcing pass.
Sutton.
Ooh, a Cam Sutton one. Okay, I like that.
That's what I want.
That would be sweet. How about Jared? Hey. I always love seeing Jared pick it off because I never think of him as a guy that's going to get his hands on the football, and then he does, and I think it's just great for him. But Cam Sutton will be great because it feels like that would like get his name going. You know, like Cam Sutton got paid, he's solid, give him a pick. Now he's a difference maker. Yeah, I like or Tracy. Tracy always seems to drop interceptions. I can't be the only one. Every time Tracy always seems like he's dropping interceptions. I would love to see that change this year if we're going to see him more. He always ends up like one on the year with like 7 drops. It's like, dude, you have it, man. Right. Just catch one of them. My goodness. He needs to hit the jugs machine, chat. If there's one guy, like I'm not calling him out. He puts in a lot of work, but you know, the jugs, like just a little bit, mix that in, sprinkle it in a little bit, you know, a little 20-minute session. But and then also I have Ellister linebacker, but that one's not as fun to talk about. So we'll stick with the main 2. We got Drake London, and we got Jesse Bates. Drake London's an animal, man. He's an animal, and I just want to see how we match him up because Cam Sutton size-wise is not going to be able to match. He'll stick with him, but he's going to give up receptions because he's going to post you up. Like he did that 3. He plays like a basketball player in the end zone. He just it's like, all right, how are you going to cover that guy? So, and I will say this real quick to what we said about Jerry. You know, he had a rough week, but the first half it was DK, and I'm not saying that he played well. He did not play well. But at the same time, the flip side, you do get credit because DK is a ridiculous matchup. I mean, that guy is just different. It's like you kind of have to set, unless your cornerback's like one of those weird physically, Jalen Ramsey 6'2", and it's like, all right, maybe he can handle him. You just can't do it one-on-one with him for the most part. So I will say that. I don't. What did you do? You just said Jeff Okudah, and you said who'd you say on offense? You said
Offensively,
Laporta.
I got Sam Laporta. I think he puts up
I
some
like that.
yardage because like we saw some flashes. I saw some stuff where it's like, all right, they're trying to work him in. Ben Johnson's trying to work him in, and I think with their defense, man, and what they're going to try to do to St. Brown and Reynolds, shutting them down. That's where we're going to see some of these underdogs. That's where we're going to see Laporta. That's where we're going to see Khalif. So I'm going Laporta on that guy.
Shout out to the underdogs, man. I love that. Underdogs going crazy today. I know I was really trying to find like a prop bet for Khalif Raymond. I could not find one other than touchdowns. Like I don't like touchdowns. I think receptions or yards could be interesting, but not touchdowns.
Yeah, not TDs. No.
Yeah, he's not the TD kind of guy. I don't like, unless maybe we're doing a flea flicker. Okay, so here's where we transition into the most important part of the video. I have not seen his. He's probably seen mine, but we're gonna predict the scores for this game. So Chad, I need y'all in here. I need you to let me know. Yours. Okay, I need y'all to let me know who's winning this game. What's the score? Look, I'll start off. I was wrong last week. I had us by 10. I felt good, though.
I was wrong, too.
You felt good at half, though, right? It was like 14-7. We're getting ball. This score looks
real.
real.
I was like, we are getting this correct. It's going to be a 27-17 game. We win.
And then I come back, and all of a sudden they had the ball at our 20. And I'm like, hold up. What happened? I missed one play.
That was the worst. That was the worst.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all had to see that. So here's the thing. Here's my prediction for this week. Of course, like I said, I said this like I probably won't predict the Lions to lose until they lose. So that would mean that you'd probably predict them to lose this week, but I'm not because I can't. I'm taking the Lions to win. I do think this is a really tough game. It kind of makes me think of last week if we can get out of again, like get ahead of this team. Just get ahead of them. All right, because that run game's vicious, and at the same time, defensively, what they can do in the back end, they cause turnovers. They're very opportunistic. I don't think they're elite, but they're opportunistic. And I think we can run the ball on this team. So I'm positive. I believe we can win this game. I believe it's going to go by fast, which kind of makes me sad because I think it's going to go by fast. But I'm taking the Lions to win this one 24-17 at home. Jameer Gibbs does a big day, and the Lions win by a touchdown. 2 and more going to Lambeau Field. Yes, sir. How we like it? What are we feeling? Let's talk Lions. Where we at?
Wow. All right. First of all, I like that. You say 24-17. I'm going to say this. Atlanta, 2 weeks in a row, put up 24 and then 25. So I think they're going to continue to replicate. I'm going to give them 24, but I'm going to give Detroit 27. We win this game 27-24. Offense is looking good, looking pretty potent. How does Montgomery not being there affect it? I don't know. Maybe we'll trust our kicker at all this week and say, you can kick. Because last week, he was basically in timeout until the very end of the game. And we looked at him and we go, you know what? We need to go into OT. F it. You haven't kicked all game. Get out there. Show us what you could do. So now we trust him. We win this game 27-24.
And he wins it. Okay, look, hey, shout out to Riley Patterson. He's a dog, man. We love Riley Patterson around here. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of confidence in that dude. Now, here's one thing I did like about what you said real quick, though. You said that you talked about their scoring the last 2 weeks. And I looked that originally, I think I had them with like 13 points, and I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, it's got to be higher because they've shown they can score points.
Yeah,
I understand. It's like they have their own way of doing it, but they can do it, and they're so opportunistic. Like they're going to score some points. I think the ball's going to go. I think the game's going to go by so fast because I think we're going to run well as well, and because of that, I think it's just going to be a lot of just trimming the clock, man, and it's going to stay a little bit lower. But I like that prediction. You're taking the win too. We'll see, man. Whoever gets it right first, hey. They got bragging rights for something. I don't know. Maybe the next guy got to come up with the joke. Hey, this is what we need next week. Whoever's further apart on the prediction has to come with a good knock joke. All right,
done deal, man. It's gonna be great. You pulled out Wizards though today, so I don't know if I could beat.
I set the bar. I definitely.
I was playing. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons last week, and the DM, we like walked up on, we were in a dungeon and there was a door, and the door we had to get pass a riddle in order to get through. Maybe I'll use that riddle because it was good. It got me good.
Oh,
stumbling.
Riddles are fantastic because they do make you think. It makes you feel kind of cool a little bit. Like, let me break that down. Let me put my little detective side. You know what I mean? Figure that thing out. By the way, last night I was gonna watch Oppenheimer, but I was so tired that I was like, I can't turn it on because I know I'm gonna fall asleep. Because the movie that I did turn on, I got an hour into and I fell asleep. Like it started to load for 1 second. You get that little blue, and you're like, all right, I just want to chill here. Do I back out? So it started doing that, and I was like, oh, okay, it'll be fine. And I fell asleep sitting there. So I was like, good thing I didn't start the other because I knew this wasn't gonna go super well. But the movie I did watch,
instead?
I'm trying to think of what it was called. It was an And I know I'm like I watch a lot of the horror stuff, but this one wasn't like like more horror. It was more like sci-fi. I love alien movies because I feel like there's not a lot of great alien movies. I'm like, there's got to be a better alien movie. And this one was
if you want a good alien movie, I got one for you.
Okay.
It's called Arrival. Have you seen Arrival?
I've seen Arrival. I have, yes. Yep.
All right.
That's a good one. That is a good one. It's been a while though. Is that a long movie? I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
that's
it was
where the big thing comes out. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this one was I was gonna like suggest it to you. I don't know if it's like your lane of movie necessarily, but it was pretty good. So man, I'm really trying to remember. I think it was like oh gosh, what was it called? It was like You'll Never something. Okay, let me look it up real quick.
Gotta write this down here. I don't know why I'm using paper and pencil.
Find it.
I'm on a computer.
Oh, it's called wait, is that what it's called? It's called No One Will Save You, I think that's what it's called. And it wasn't like your normal horror. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's new. And it's like, I'm not like a slasher movie fan. I don't like that. I like the psychological horrors, those kind of things. I don't like the slasher movies, so
I hear you.
I'm not a fan of that. This one wasn't that at all. But it was like so, and I know there's some twists coming. I fell asleep, so I'm like, gotta resume this. So I'm gonna come back to it. So chat. I know he always brings up Mighty Ducks. I have not watched Mighty. Have you seen Mighty Ducks?
Oh, years ago. I believe in theaters, if I'm not mistaken.
It's good.
Yeah, it's Mighty Ducks.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna have to watch it now because now two people.
Oh, you know what? I didn't see that. I must have saw the second one in theaters because this one came out the year I was born. So, but I've seen the Mighty Ducks.
Okay. I'll check it out. I mean, everybody hypes it up. They say it's like the best movie of all time, so I'll watch.
You know what? Mighty Ducks came out, and then the Lions never won a playoff game again. So, interesting.
So, are you telling me I need to break the curse by watching
it? I'm saying you got to break the curse. You got to watch this.
Oh, dang. See, I didn't even know it was urgent like this, chat, but now I know.
It is urgent.
Hey, after the game, bam. Okay, hey, right after that post-game show, bam. That's what we're doing.
No,
chat, I appreciate you guys coming in, man.
My bad.
Oh, the post-game show is just us watching a movie?
We're just watching.
We're breaking the curse right here. But I'm not going to show the movie because I can't. So you'll just see me sitting here watching a movie for an hour and a half. I'll just sit here and watch a movie. And I'll probably not have the sound either because that's copyright. So just me sitting here watching a movie. Maybe it's a little bit of popcorn stacking. I don't know. But other than that, you're just sitting here watch a movie.
I'd watch that.
It's important. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. But Hey man, I appreciate you guys coming in, man. This was a good show. Shout out to Let's Talk Lions once again, man. Popping in. He brings the energy. He brings the what do they call the puns? It's good, man. It's a good time, and we'll probably do more of these unless we start losing. If we keep losing, then we probably won't. So if we do that, blame Let's Talk Lions, not me. Yeah. Well, this is true. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot because I know the last time I said I was going to. Any words of wisdom on the way out?
Words of wisdom is if you don't know where you're going, follow your nose wherever it goes.
Oh, like when you can sometimes see your nose and you're like, dang, I see it now because I'm thinking about it.
Interesting. I wasn't going down that route. I was going for more of like a tricks or a Lucky Charms / Gandalf. But yeah, okay, I like that.
But you see your nose a little bit right now, no?
Yeah, now I do. Now I'm very
yeah. That's the worst. It's absolutely terrible. I see you guys throwing the movie suggestions. Trust me, I'm reading them in here. I see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we're gonna be live for the game and then post-game show. Are you doing another post-game show today?
At the moment, I don't know. So if you're rocking one, maybe I'll just hop on if you're good.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, send me the link. Like, especially if we win, because I'm assuming it can go a little bit longer then. But if you don't start immediately after too, it might, But because I got that one show, but then I'll jump right over. You already know that. So
all right,
I'm in, man.
Deal. I'll let you know.
All right, chat. Sounds good. All right, chat. We're out. We'll see you guys soon. 50 minutes till the game starts, and we're out, man. You guys should match.